Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the absolute biggest debates in personal finance: jobs versus business. I mean, who actually builds wealth faster? We're going to unpack the data, explore the core debate between traditional employment and entrepreneurship, and figure out what genuinely drives financial independence. Let's get right into it.
So ask yourself this: are you only earning, or are you also owning? It's a simple question, but man, it completely changes how you look at your morning commute. Every single day, millions of people wake up and rush to work. But while employees are clocking in, businesses are opening, products are moving, and real money is exchanging hands. You see, wealth isn't necessarily built just by the people working the hardest. It's actually built by the people who own the assets.
Section 1. The Time and Money Trap. Okay, let's picture two identical starting points. We'll call them James and Peter. Both of them land jobs earning a 100,000 Kenyan shilling salary. Fast forward 15 years. James has spent his entire income on living expenses. He literally depends entirely on his next paycheck to survive. Peter, on the other hand, he took a portion of that exact same salary and consistently invested it into starting a small business and buying shares. The job itself wasn't a trap for James. The trap was relying totally on that salary without using it to acquire assets that produce income.
Because at its core, a job is an exchange. You're trading your time, your skills, your knowledge for a highly predictable income. And don't get me wrong, jobs are fantastic. They give you stability, professional growth, and that crucial initial capital you need to get ahead. But ultimately, your time is finite. So your earning potential in a pure time-for-money exchange is always going to hit a ceiling.
Section 2. Self-employed versus business owner.
Now, business expert Dr. Amit Parekh highlights a really crucial distinction here. There is a massive difference between a self-employed individual who works in the business and a business owner who works on the business. It all boils down to one word: leverage.
Let's break that down a bit. A self-employed professional, think of a freelance graphic designer, a solo consultant, someone like that. They work independently. They absolutely love having direct control and setting their own schedule. But here's the catch. They are still trading time for money. If they decide to take a month off, their income just stops, drops to zero. Their ability to scale is severely capped by the 24 hours in a day.
Moving along that spectrum, we find the business person. This is a pretty broad category, really. It covers everyone from local shop owners to corporate managers. They're engaging in commercial activities, adapting to market needs, maybe hiring a little bit of help here and there. It's a mix of self-employment hustle and some broader entrepreneurial strategies. But honestly, they might still be heavily tied to the day-to-day operations.
An entrepreneur, though, that's a different breed. They intentionally create and manage businesses with the specific goal of scaling them up. They build systems, they delegate to teams. They focus heavily on long-term innovation instead of just doing the daily tasks. They are basically building a machine that operates completely independently of their direct hourly involvement. And that is exactly how you achieve massive scale.
Section 3. The Power of Leverage and Macroeconomics.
So as researcher Alexander S. Kritikos points out, entrepreneurs are a remarkably rare species. Think about this. Even in highly innovation-driven economies, only about 1 to 2% of the workforce starts a business in any given year. It's a tiny fraction of the population, but they create this outsized, massive ripple effect across the entire global economy.
The impact they have is just staggering. Entrepreneurs drive what economist Joseph Schumpeter called creative destruction, basically replacing old, stagnating companies with innovative new solutions. They generate waves of new job opportunities. They force existing companies to step up their game and become more productive. To put that into perspective, data shows that in Nigeria, small and medium enterprises contribute roughly 48% to the entire nation's GDP. That's almost half, and they employ over 80% of the workforce.
And they pull this off by leveraging different types of capital. Modern business owners utilize manufactured capital, think digital banking platforms and automated workflows, right alongside intellectual capital. So they aren't just working harder, they're building smart, technological systems that literally generate revenue for them around the clock, without them even needing to be there.
Section 4. The Realities and Risks.
45%. According to financial advisory data, roughly 45% of all new businesses fail within their very first 5 years. Yeah, it is a high-stakes game for sure.
So why do they collapse?
Let's look at the numbers. 35% fail simply because there's a lack of genuine market need. Basically, they built something nobody actually wanted to buy. Another 20% get crushed by strong competition. And a huge killer across the board, running out of cash flow and working capital. You can have the greatest idea in the world, but if the math doesn't work, the business dies.
This is exactly why the Edelweiss Intelligent Investor material poses this critical, sobering question. If you're self-employed, how long do businesses similar to yours tend to survive? Given your salary and your spending needs, how much money can you afford to lose? Entrepreneurship isn't just about the massive upside. It requires a really honest assessment of your personal risk tolerance. The financial stakes are heavy if things go south.
Section 5. The Wealth Building Formula.
But here is the good news. The most successful individuals understand a fundamental truth. You do not have to choose between a job or a business. Actually, for most of us, the predictable income of a stable job is the perfect financial foundation. You can use it to safely fund your transition into ownership without risking complete financial ruin.
Here's exactly how that plays out in what we call the wealth formula. Step 1, you develop high-value skills. Step 2, you trade those skills at a job for predictable income. Step 3, you strictly manage your lifestyle to generate savings. Step 4, you use those savings to buy ownership. Now, this could be starting a side hustle, buying shares in existing companies, or investing in real estate. Step 5, that ownership starts generating independent cash flow. And finally, Step 6, that cash flow eventually leads to financial independence.
To get you moving on this path right now, we've put together a practical, actionable action plan based on our sources. Grab a pen. First, write down a list of your current skills. Second, identify 3 real-world problems that people will genuinely pay to solve. Third, create a strict monthly savings goal out of your current income. Fourth, go learn about just one publicly listed company. And fifth, read one annual report. You can start shifting from an employee mindset to a CEO mindset today.
I want to leave you with this final, empowering thought. The whole debate shouldn't just be jobs are bad, businesses are good. Actually, scratch that. Instead of asking, should I quit my job, we need to reframe how we look at our financial futures. The real question you should be asking yourself is, how can I use my job to build ownership? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep building, and I will see you next time.